Thomas, at the top, we had Crack Rock by Frank Ocean. It was released on Def Jam Records in 2012. And it actually samples Miss Lover by Jimi Hendrix. I had no idea. I just Googled that then.
Really? I had no idea about that either, surprisingly. Matt?
Yeah. It was on Frank Ocean's first like official release, Channel Orange. He had an album, sort of an online, like mysterious album previously and a bunch of singles. Have you ever listened to the album Nostalgia Ultra?
No, but I was going to ask you, was Frank Ocean in OF?
Yeah, he was in Odd Future.
Yeah, was he? Yeah, because he was always tied up with Vince and Earl and Tyler and the crew that I was listening to, and he was collaborating with them, but I didn't know.
He was in, the 10-minute track Oldie. I think it's Oldie, where they all, I'll check it now.
Do that
Oldie.
Really unwell stuff?
No, it's where the whole Odd Future gang have a rap each.
Oh.
And it's over this beat, and they're just in a studio, and Frank Ocean featured on that.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, at Frank Ocean, you know where to find us, man. Let us know if you did feature with OF and you were fully in the crew, or what that relationship was. But sorry to cut you off. What was this little underground album? He made a little solo EP, did he?
Nostalgia Ultra. It had like an orange BMW on the front, and had some amazing tracks there. But it was kind of like a Tumblr album, I guess.
Well, I've got some homework then.
Yeah, man, there's some amazing stuff there. And the second track was Marilyn by Mount Kimby, featuring Micah Chu. Forgive me if I said that incorrectly. From their 2017 release, Love What Survives.
Mount Kimby, in this process of preparing for this show and figuring out what music I'd like to play and listening to it thoroughly again, Mount Kimby has just revealed itself as one of my favourite artists.
So they kind of started out as like post-dubstep and very electronic, and then have moved into this more indie kind of blended post-punky, I guess. Maybe that's not the right term. Just this different kind of genre, but they actually started out very electronic. Why did we choose those songs, man?
We chose those songs because in preparation for this very moment, episode 1, season 1, we sat down here a number of times and figured out what it was exactly we were doing and what the product was. And we both knew that we loved music and we wanted to invest our time in doing something that was meaningful and fun and creative. And we wanted to showcase our favourite music and our favourite artists, but weren't sure exactly what the product was. And when Matt moved from the producer desk down onto the couch and I passed him the aux, he threw up 2 songs to complement my episode, and the first one was Crack Rock by Frank Ocean, and it lit the fire in my belly of just, how did I miss that, because if you've listened to the song before, I've listened to that album, but for whatever reason the context was different when I listened and it didn't hit me as hard, and that song has been on repeat for me in the last month, so I thought it fitting for our sort of relationship and the way we've formed this little partnership here randomly, and also fitting because it's been on repeat for me for the last 4 weeks straight.
It's a really like kind of special song for me. That album, I remember buying the CD at JB Hi-Fi in the city and just thrashing it start to finish, and that song is just so perfect, I reckon. And it's not the single, it's this cute little B-side talking about where Frank Ocean talks about his ex-partner that's addicted to crack. I think it's just a random story that he's created.
Do you think?
That there's no truth to it. He's an amazing storyteller, but that you're kind of right though. That song encapsulates both of us and like this past York's journey, I guess we're going to go on.
It does, and I was on a journey and am on a journey to articulate my tastes to everyone and to show everyone what I'm into, to interact with the audience and get some more stuff back. And I learnt that I've got a particular flavour in music that isn't Matt's, and that's what's so great is when we come together and intersect on these two things, the magic occurs, and I hear Marilyn by Mount Kimby and I just absolutely froth it, and it hits the spot for me. And I think it was the magic of that first few eps where we sat down and tried to figure out what we're actually doing here. And I think it's a fitting opening couple songs.
Yeah, man. Why music for you in this moment? Like, you could have started a podcast about absolutely anything, and we're sitting here talking about music.
It's just what I'm most passionate about, really. I love it. I've played the guitar since I was a really young boy, and a little bit of piano, and I just think it is worthy of me spending my time and investing my time in music, in a creative outlet where you get to express yourself, you get to have good conversations, you get to learn things about people, and you get to share great stories. And for me, that is something in my life that's really valuable at this point in time. I've got so many beautiful, amazing things in my life, mainly my family and my friends and my relationships. And one of the things that's going to end for me soon is my journey in football, and I want to look at what's next, and the blaring things that come to me are the things that I love, and music's pretty much front and center in that.
Yeah, man. I really admire the way you listen as well, because you and I might not agree on a song we like, but when we do find one, it's how it makes you feel and how you can tap in. It's that goosebump feeling. It's like, you know, we always speak about the songs we listen to when we drive in the car, or, you know, or we're just having a quiet moment to ourselves and how it makes us feel. And like tapping into that's quite hard.
What about you, bro? Why are you on the show? Why did you want to get involved with the project? You know, for context, we had a pretty random type meeting to make this all happen. And as I mentioned briefly before, we sat down and committed a bit of time to make a product that's going to further our tastes and fun and experience in music and in convo and in life. And it's come together and fruited. So I wanted to know about your musical context and a little bit about, your reasons for getting involved.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess thanks BackChat and Chris Maston. It's kind of like Masto introduced us by random, like one afternoon we were having a beer and we hit it off, and the music stuff kind of happened later where I didn't realize this was the project you were working on, and I heard about it and I really wanted to be involved. Like I'm a music listener, I'm a music lover. And I don't know, I always have a tune going through my head, whether it's something I want to create or it's something that someone else has created. Like I truly feel like I just have a soundtrack to my day, all day, every day.
In the brain, all day.
Yeah. Whether that's good or bad, or maybe that...
I think it's very good, and I think the audience is going to agree with me when they start hearing the songs on the show, because I'm in agreement, and... You know, I can be pretty dogmatic and ignorant sometimes, and, you know...
Can you please define dogmatic for the listeners?
Dogmatic, look, I'll shout out to Geordie Stairs. He actually told me what dogmatic meant.
Yeah.
And he explained to me like a dog, like you're barking, like you're just out loud.
Yeah.
So I always think ignorant and dogmatic is kind of those people who will tell you about what the right thing is, but they're ignorant to what it actually is. So it's kind of my pedestal of people that don't know and annoy me.
These next two songs that we've chosen are not dogmatic at all.
No, they are very well considered, and they are pieces of art.
Elevators, Outcast. Another one we just, you know, sitting here listening, maybe having a casual beer, and just that song came on and it really hit you straight away.
100%. And I love Outcast. I've listened to their albums, and I'm sound like a broken record, but the flavour of this podcast and the flavour of our experience so far has been when you hear it in a new context, when you hear it with a story attached, when I hear it from Matt's heart, it has a different flavour. And so we want to take you there, and I think there's no better way to introduce this song.